This is one of the books that the young ones are reading here in Kenya, and I have to confess, it's good. It's a play called The Last Laugh by Robinson Ocharo. Short but impressive. One of my favorite themes explored in this book, I should just get into the point, is the fact that Ocharo is soft launching, questioning authority and class consciousness. You see, in African structure of the society, age is an important factor in your status in the society. The older you are, the more you demand respect and the more authoritative you are. This goes back even into how our ancestors perceived the supernatural, because when you look at the concept of pouring libation for the ancestors, for you to qualify that, you have to be kind of old. You have to even to be dead already. And the older you are, the more significant you are in the society. This is why we even have council of elders. And of course, they used to make all the decisions of the community, and they were not to be questioned. They still are, to some degree, not to be questioned. It depends with a lot of factors. We even have proverbs that support this. For example, the Swahili proverb, asiyesikia mkuu huvunjika guu. The problem with this structure, although it might be effective to some degree, and also the problem with that proverb is that it assumes that old age necessarily translates to being right or to being wise. But this is not the case. And this is where I part ways with a bunch of African philosophers, because they support this. The reason I'm saying I don't support that is because no matter who you are at, to some degree wrong sometimes. Age doesn't necessarily translate to wisdom. Age doesn't necessarily translate to being right. And there's this disconnect in the society between the young ones and the older ones, because the older ones still live in that bubble of expecting the young people to comply with everything they say. But we, on the other side, the young people, somehow feel that this should not be a characteristic of the society. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that experience doesn't have anything to offer to us. No, I'm saying that there has to be a bridge here. On the one hand, we have to understand that the older people, that is the elders, have something to offer to the young people. But they also have to understand that it is okay to be challenged a little bit, especially when we are trying to understand the epistemology of the status quo. The young people, on the other hand, they have to understand that just because we have the internet and we can Google almost everything, that we have all the answers. No, we have to understand that there is something experience has to offer us, and I think this is a bridge that has the possibility of existing. Going back to the book, I think that is one of the themes that is being explored. I don't know if the kids are being taught that per se, but I think even if they are not being explained this, they somehow internalize these lessons.